And we were all dressed this way because we started off doing a unit called Steampunk. We wanted to introduce found object art and collage to the students, and we wanted to use the genre of steampunk. So we made an introductory video. We had these cute little outfits on, and it really got the excitement going. That worked really well.
And our focusing lens was transformation, because we wanted to have our students really think about how can we change the purpose of what this used to be and then make it into a new purpose. And we did that through, as Linda said, through collage and found objects.
We really made this unit relevant to the students by introducing them to local artists that they might have heard of, like Bill Sweat, to introduce the idea of assemblage and using junk to create art. And then we also really encouraged this genre of steampunk was really something that was very students were very interested in it. So the relevance was quite clear from the very beginning. They even thanked us at the end for using that genre because they had so much fun with it. I think one thing that we did well as a team was we worked together and we really balanced the workloads.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us did our part, and we were very on top of things. We really tried to plan far in advance, really think about what our lessons were going to be like, and we tried to bring in all of the stuff that we had been learning about in class. So we were using classroom management skills that we were learning in class to teach the classes that we were in.
I also feel what we did well was because there's three of us and we all have different personality types and different teaching styles, it really just kind of gave the students something new to look forward to each class. Like, okay, we're going to do management a little bit different today, or we're going to do this lesson a little bit different today based on each of our different teaching styles, and kept everything really upbeat, and all the students seemed very excited every day, really.
Mm-hmm.
And looked forward to class, and we all were well balanced in all the work that we had for the students to do, and we were all very prepared, over prepared sometimes, which is always good, and we got all of our work done and did well.
I think, go ahead. Sorry. I was just, to jump off that, I think an interesting experience that we had was that we had two classes between the three of us. So we actually got to experience, while the students got to experience a new teacher every week, we also got to really experience what it was like to teach a lesson to two different classes, because the classrooms had very different personalities. One was pretty mature and quiet, and sometimes didn't get as excited vocally about things, but there was other issues that arose in that class, whereas the other classroom was much more excited and energetic and had different issues that came up. Management skills were needed in one class over the other. I think collaboratively, we also really drew on each other's strengths, and were able to really integrate the ideas that we took off of each other. We used technology a lot. Asia came up with these really cool classroom games that we were able to play. At the end, we did Jeopardy, and in the beginning, she pulled together a game where the kids were actually manipulating on the smartboard parts and pieces to kind of fit together to get them thinking about the idea in the collage, where we were integrating something organic with something non-organic. And Caitlin brought so many skills from teaching previously. The experience that she had, I don't know about you, but she helped me a lot in just being comfortable in a classroom and really learning how to deal with the kids and adjust to different management styles that we pulled from the teachers, as well as just kind of doing our own. So I think both of those things worked really well. I think that was something that we did relatively well. I think there's still, there's some kinks that we still probably had to work out with that. And I don't know if, personally, I think inquiry questions are still something that I struggle with understanding, and enduring understandings are also, they're a little bit more complicated, but we had this great idea, and I think our students came away with so many great transferable skills. Learning how to use a screwdriver, learning how to plan, learning how to observe. All of those skills are so transferable to anything and any time. And so I think that was something that we did really strongly.
Yeah, I think they understood the concept of found object and how that makes a difference in the environment. We were able to touch on that enough, and the kids seemed to all kind of go away with that concept while they were having a lot of fun. We were talking about like with the collage. I'm not sure that they really solidified what the collage was supposed to represent. By the end, we focused maybe a little bit too much on planning and not quite as much on the end product, but it was still a really good stepping stone for the next one.
Great working in a group setting so that you can bounce ideas off of each other, and then things just grow from there. It's like we could do this, and then we could do this, and then this objective will be really great, so it's transferable, and so that it's really just honing in on what we want the kids to come out with. And working with these girls was a fantastic opportunity to learn from each other and also to correct our mistakes, and we were always there for each other's backs. And I know I might be going a little bit away from the objectives, but I mean, being in a group setting really does kind of help
And I think that's
plan a lesson and create objectives and create inquiry questions, and it was really helpful for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely in this situation, 3 heads were much better than 1, because at one point, at least one of us had some really great ideas, and then all the other people could really give that input and make that great idea actually work.
right.
And it was really wonderful to see those little moments happen of like, oh, this could happen and this could happen. And we, yeah.
And it's a life skill. I know that in the job place, one of the most important skills for us to learn is going to be to work with other people. And today, with differentiating types of classroom environments and trying to do a lot of interdisciplinary curriculum where you're incorporating different, what's the word I'm looking for? Concentrations. Math and art and English and art and history and art and those kinds of things. So collaboratively to work with other teachers wherever it is that we work is going to be really important to me. So I really appreciated that opportunity as well.
I think that was a large challenge for us. I'd say if there's anything that we could do differently is we could have our own classroom.
Yes.
That would be really useful.
Storage.
Or at least
Or some storage.
Yeah.
Especially when we're planning something to this, because we had great grand ideas, and it was super fun, and I'm glad we did it because I think the students learned so much from it. But we had boxes for every single student, and on top of those boxes were giant boxes full of junk that they could disassemble, and on top of those boxes there was tools, and we had to cart them into the school every single week.
And out of the school.
And out of the school. And
store them in our cars and carry them around.
Not fun. We would take we would get
At least
there.
a half an hour just to get the room set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would.
Unit study, if you want to attempt to use this in your classroom, you definitely want to have a classroom situation where you can have everything there and available and not have to do that part of it. So I would do that differently next time. If we're in a school where we have to cart our art class in and out every day, you might want to simplify your expectations of what you're working on. But we made it work. It's a lot of work, but we made it work.
I think it would not have been possible if it was just one of us.
True.
Definitely not possible. So I think it's nice that we had this opportunity because we couldn't have done this any other way.
I want to mention for cleanup for what went well, from Caitlin's experience in teaching, she brought in the idea of giving students jobs so that it would make the work a lot easier on us, so that the students knew how to clean up, because that's something that artists face every day, is how do you clean up your studio and how do you set up your studio, but you have to, make it manageable. and giving the students jobs, which they are willing to do anyway, especially in elementary. They want to volunteer, they want to help, they want to be a part of everything. And so let them do it, really just, if you just said, okay, can I have Sean or Billy please pick up all the scissors, and then Linda and Caitlin can go pick up all the sketchbooks, and
Right.
just giving students jobs. It keeps it consistent at the end of the day too. Okay, somebody's going to get a job and somebody's going to pick it up, and sometimes they'll offer, and that's just a really great way to make yourself less stressed, especially when you're dealing with what we had to deal with all semester with objects and boxes and endless things to carry around, and have the kids help us out was really great.
Yeah. I think another really cool management skill that we ended up using was because it was so unique. I was actually surprised that some of the kids did not have as much experience working with just regular tools, so it was a great opportunity, another life skill where they basically, we did a little test, and this was sort of impromptu. We recognized that we needed that, and so we came up with a way to test each of them and make sure that they handled the tools properly. So studio habits and jobs and following through on that.